Hey guys, thanks for checking out my video. Today I just wanted to show you what I used to paint my Mythic Battles Pantheon board game. You know, if you're like me and you pick up these games that have like minis that are really cool, but you get like, you know, you're not really into painting, but you really want to paint them, because any game, honestly, that, you know, takes about a good anywhere from like 90 minutes or 45 minutes, you know, you're staring at these pieces and you want them to at least look a little decent, better than like the plastic that they come into. I mean, you don't want to be staring at, you know, here, let me show you. You want to be staring at like this. I mean, this guy's massive, he's awesome, but you know, the great plastic does tend to get a little boring, so you kind of want to paint them, but it can be daunting. I mean, this is a lot of pieces here, like just this board game alone. This is just the core set minus a few, and I have an expansion which is just like insane. But I'm gonna be honest with you, this took me a weekend to do. It took me a little longer because I only put in about an hour or two a night just to do it, but this can be easily smashed out in a weekend, no problem. Quick and easy if you do what I did or whatnot. I didn't want to take the time to like paint all the detail on these guys. I just went with a type of color scheme. There we go, it's in focus. So this is like the Amazon army, and I wanted them to be bronze. I got this idea from my cousin actually when I first saw this game, and it inspired me to do this when I got it. It's because basically these cards here that you get, the character cards like Leonidas, the heroes, are all in silver, and the monsters are green, the gods are gold, right? We got Zeus here, but I didn't really want to paint all this and get into this detail. I'm just not that good. It's not and I really don't want to spend my time painting as much as it is calming and whatever, and it's fun to do. But you know, if you really want to do the basic minimum, that's what I wanted to show you guys and share with you. So what I basically did was I spray painted everything a flat black. Okay, and I know that like if you go on painting sites and minis, you gotta spray paint and then put a base coat. I didn't do any of that. I really skipped that step. And I mean, this is Ares right here, and I just dry brushed them gold. I mean that looks pretty good. I mean, I'm sorry about the camera quality. I'm using my cell phone here, and it's not the best video quality, and the colors are kind of mixing into one another there, but I mean, you know, the detail still comes out, and you know, it looks like a pewter. I really wanted a pewter, like metallic look, like a, not just metallic, but like a metal look. And here, let's grab a hero here. And you know, I mean, detail comes, you know, these minis were really well done, and it's really, you know, the dry brushing technique really brings out all the little detail, and the flat black just really helps put it together to make it look like a piece of metal, you know. And this is silver, and so that was what did I show you? The Amazon, that's copper. I actually used the copper. Like the armies are actually bronze, but I used the copper just because of the flat black, and I found that the bronze was too dark. This would have been more of a reddish, and I didn't want that. So the paints I used were Citadel layer Hashut Copper for the bronze, and then I used a dry Citadel dry, come on, Sigmarite. Okay, and then I used for the silver the dry Necron compound. Right, and these are, I don't know if you can see that the camera can pick it up, but it's like kind of shiny inside, and it's very, very, very dry. It's a dry paint, and it's meant for dry brushing. And then the green here, I use the contrast warp lighting. Now this was something new. I didn't know what to do because I wanted my monsters green, but I wanted the metallic look. Now the camera's not picking it up that well because there's a lot of black in the detail that actually brings it out, and I just find right now on my camera what I'm seeing is it just looks all green, but it really isn't. I don't know if you can see that, but so I did the same thing. I spray painted it flat black, and then I put the silver on it, and I think my only mistake, these guys came out okay. I mean, they all came out fine. It was just I was really experimenting with it. But I think in the future, or my only advice would be to actually put on more of the silver and really get it in there, and not try to be like too conservative with it, just so the green has something to hold on to and you get more of the shine. But at the same token, at the same time, this actually has a bit of a gloss to it. So this is a contrast. This is what they're calling like a, it's like a shade, not a shade, but I forget what they call it. This is something new that came out about like last year, and it's basically really, really liquid. Actually, there's nothing left because I actually spilt it. So another trick is, another tip for me, if I can just pass on my mistakes, is that next time put your, put anything liquid in maybe like this Tupperware. This is what I use for my wet palette, and that way if it spills, it'll spill in the thing and not all over the table. But we live, we learn. Yeah, so there's that. But see, like Cerberus here, he came out pretty good. You can see where the black is on him to give him that. I wanted everything to be kind of like, somewhat at least the same. The same. I don't want just like green characters and not shiny enough. The light's making it more shinier than it actually is. It's actually a lot darker here, and hopefully the camera's doing a good job, but whatever. And yeah, so what I did was, and that's a light, and I even actually dry brushed it. I took this and I actually dry brushed it by putting a little bit of paint on there and taking off as much as I could and going over it lightly. The silver really came out. Now it's not really coming through in the camera, and the Minotaur here, he's the darkest I could get. But I really put it on thick because I didn't realize, like I just kind of put the layer on. I thought the liquid would be thinned out enough. Another option I think might be to use like a wash, like a green wash, which is really, really thin. Maybe I should have done that, but I mean, all in all, like these guys came out okay. It looks like it's one green piece, but actually out of the light and natural light, like there's some really good detail to this guy. And yeah, that's it. So I got my green metallic that way, and then I use copper for bronze, like I said, and these guys just came out, really fantastic. They really look like metal to me anyways. I mean, that's what people have been commenting, like people who don't know, they're like, oh cool, they're metal pieces. I'm like, no, they're actually plastic. And I'm not saying I'm a great painter or model painter. I just got into this, and for me, this took me nothing. Like this literally took me a couple of nights, only because I dedicated not like an hour or two just to do it. But you can easily smash this out in a weekend if you've got the time for it, minus obviously the painting, the spray painting. I'm probably gonna have to touch this up. I might put a base on it, I might not. This is still the flat black spray paint, which I found really helped to darken the copper to make it look like a bronze, and darken the other guys, the silvers here for my heroes. That's Hercules right there. Like like you can see a lot more of the detail that came out of the dry brushing. It's just really well done. I mean, these minis were really, really well sculpted. And that's it. So that's the theme I went with. Silver for the heroes, gold for the gods, and here the other god I can show you. Like this is Zeus. Almighty Zeus. And that's it, right? I mean, like, it's not much to it. If it's your first time, I would recommend getting, what I do is getting one of these guys, just a fake model. This is a Dungeons and Dragons little swamp monster, and you can see, like, here's a bit of gold. I tested a bit of the blood for the blood god red, and I just tested his teeth just to see how it was. And you get yourself a fake model, and you just test, and you just test on this guy before you start your other models. And it's not it's not really the end of the world, even if you mess up. Like, you can easily clean them or just paint over them and stuff. So, but this is what I do. I paint over this guy, and that's it. The only other thing I want to show you for Mythic Battles is, just lost any files, is the rock that I built. This doesn't come with the game. The game comes with cardboard stuff here, which I'll probably buy on Amazon, the proper trees, but whatever. I'll geek out on it later. So I made this rock for the game, and you can see that it's foam on the inside. It's hollow. And I, two colors. I spray painted this gray. I used, what is this? This is a layer, Ulthuan Grey from Citadel. I used Citadel. And I used one brush, guys. I used one brush. Number 8, came in a pack. And that's it. I mean, like, just to show you, like, this was the same brush I used. And I cleaned it in between colors, but, that's all you need. So you don't have to go crazy. So basically what I did was I took foam, some of that window foam that you can buy at the hardware store, that you put in for insulation, and you make little blobs, and they come like this. And then I took my knife and I made sharp edges, right? And that's what this is. So I just made sharp edges, and painted it, spray painted it gray. And then the next day I came in and just with the lighter gray, I just went in and made like, you know, calcium stains or whatever, and try to cut as best as I could to make it look like a rock. I mean, you know, this ain't the best rock in the world, but and I put some glue and put some moss on there, but I'm probably gonna put some more green moss because this moss kind of died and it's like yellow. I guess this is old. I forget where I got this from. I think I just found it from like an older model, and I was just in a rush, so I just kind of put things on there like that. It doesn't look the best, but I'll fix that. And that's it. I mean, like, you know, put this away, and it's super light. It goes on the game piece, goes there. It even fits the game board. I made the other one for the back there. It's another smaller one. Same thing. See, like, takes nothing. And that's really it. I mean, yeah, this game's pretty fun to play, and you know, I enjoy playing it. But I was just tired of looking at the gray pieces on the board, because I mean, you're playing it for at least an hour, 90 minutes if you're having a good time. And you know, just after a while, you get tired of looking at the gray models. So I mean, that's it. That's what I did. Hopefully this helped. If anybody wanted to paint or want to know how to do it, or go for the color scheme of the bronze, and it's quick, it's simple. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to spend time. If you're like me, who enjoys painting but your skill level isn't there, I mean, dry brushing and then figuring out a color scheme for one thing. I mean, you know, that's what I did, and that's it. I hope this helped, and if you've got any questions, leave me some in the comments. We'll talk later. Thanks again for checking out the video, guys. Hope you're having a good one. Take care.